Hundreds have been found. 0 manuals exist. It's a hollow bronze shape with 12 faces. Each face has a different sized hole, and every corner has a little knob. This is the Roman Dodecahedron, an 1,800-year-old gadget no one can agree on. Is it a candle holder? A rangefinder? A knitting tool? Today, we read putting 6 of the biggest theories to the test, and one of them explains those weird opposite holes better than all the rest. Welcome to TimeVault Stories, evidence-based history that feels like time travel. Stick around to the end for our verdict, and a simple at-home experiment you can do to test the rangefinder theory yourself. First, let's cover the quick facts we actually know. These objects mostly date to the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. They're found concentrated in the Roman provinces of Gaul, Germania, and Britain, so modern-day France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and parts of England. They're very rare in the Mediterranean heartland, like Italy or Greece. They are usually cast in bronze, though a few are made of stone, and they range in size from about 4 to 11 centimeters across. The shape is always the same: 12 pentagonal faces, each with a circular hole of varying size, and 20 corners, each topped with a small knob. Critically, no ancient writer ever mentions them. 0 texts tell us what they are. A few patterns do give us clues. Opposite faces often have holes with different diameters, sometimes arranged in what look like pairs. Also, wear marks are surprisingly minimal on most of them. The corners aren't all scuffed up like you'd expect from a tool that was used a lot. And they're found everywhere: military sites, private villas, buried hoards, and sometimes near sanctuaries. So before we jump to crazy answers, any good theory has to pass 4 tests. First, it has to explain the different hole sizes and those opposite face pairings. Second, it must fit the geographical distribution. Why are they mostly found in Northwest Europe? Third, it has to match any physical traces, like wear marks, soot, wax, or fiber residues. And fourth, the theory must be scalable. Since the objects come in different sizes, their function can't demand strict, universal standardization. Okay, let's start with theory number 1. It's a candle holder or an incense burner. The idea is simple. You put a candle inside, the holes cast cool patterns on the wall, and the knobs help you grip it. The pros? A few specimens reportedly had waxy residues inside, and it definitely looks plausible as a decorative light, but the cons are significant. Many show no signs of soot or heat damage. The large open holes would make it a terrible shield against the wind. And most importantly, this function doesn't explain why opposite holes are often paired with specific different sizes. So our verdict? It looks cool in a dark room, but the evidence is thin, and it totally fails the whole math test. Next up, the viral favorite, theory number 2, a knitting glove gauge. The pitch here is that you use the different hole sizes as gauges to knit the fingers of gloves. This has become super popular in modern crafting videos. The pros? Well, it works in a modern demo, and having varying holes would give you multiple gauges in one tool. The cons, however, are huge. Roman knitting as we know it today likely didn't exist. Their technique was called nail binding, which is different. There are 0 ancient depictions or texts showing this. Physical evidence is also lacking. Scarce fiber traces have been found, and the distribution of these artifacts doesn't neatly map onto known textile production hubs. The verdict? It's a great modern life hack, but it has very weak historical support. It feels anachronistic. Now for theory number 3, an optical rangefinder or a surveying tool. This one has the strongest logic when it comes to the holes. The pitch is that it's a handheld coincidence ranger. You look through one hole, and an opposite hole of a different size helps you frame a target of a known size, like a Roman military standard, from a fixed distance, like your arm's length. Similar triangles do the rest of the math. Here's how it could work. You hold the dodecahedron at a fixed distance from your eye. You look through a small hole toward a target, say a banner. You then try different opposite holes until the target just fits inside the circle of the larger hole. Each pair of holes would correspond to a specific distance. The pros of this theory are huge. It's the only one that really explains why opposite holes come in matched, but different-sized pairs. It relies on simple geometry, so no inscriptions would be needed. and it fits with some of the contexts where they were found, like military and civil surveying sites. The cons? There are no engraved distance scales, so it would require training or a reference chart. Also, the hole sizes vary across artifacts, so there was no single empire-wide standard, and you'd need a consistent way to hold it at the same distance from your eye each time. But overall, the verdict is strong. This is the best fit for the whole logic. It's not proven, but it's mechanically convincing. Theory 4. It was used for astronomical sightings, like finding the date of the equinox. The idea is that you align sunlight through specific opposite holes to mark key dates for agricultural or ritual calendars. The pros are that ritual calendars were definitely important, and you can create DMAs that show this works at specific latitudes. The cons? The latitudes where these are found vary widely. The hole sizes are different on each object. There are no inscriptions. There's little where to suggest it was used frequently to track the sun. And again, the distribution is heavily in the northwest, not in the main centers of Greco-Roman astronomy. Our verdict? It's possible as a ritual or teaching aid, but it's not a slam dunk. What about theory number 5? It's a measuring or calibration gauge for things like pipes, coins, or rods. The pitch is that it's just a general purpose gauge, and the knobs are there to help you handle it. The pros? Gauges are real things, and the knobs would make sense for handling. The cons? The whole sets aren't standardized. The sizes differ way too much between objects for it to be an official measurement tool. There's no consistent wear, and again, it doesn't explain the logic of the opposite hole pairings. Verdict: it's just too irregular to be an official gauge. Finally, theory number 6. It was a ritual object or a status symbol for elites. The idea is that it was primarily a conversation piece, a symbol of learning or status, or perhaps used in divination or games. The pros: the casting quality is high, and some have been found near sanctuaries or in high-status villas. The cons? This doesn't explain the specific design, especially the hole pairs. And we still have no texts to back up a ritual use. The verdict? It could certainly have been a status symbol, but that was likely asterisk in addition asterisk to its function, not the whole story. Ritual object is often a label for things we don't understand. So let's add it all up. The rangefinder or surveying tool idea best explains the most specific and weirdest feature: the opposite hole pairs using simple optics. The candleholder idea works visually, but fails on the evidence of residues and the whole logic. The knitting theory is a modern fan favorite, but is historically shaky. Astronomy and ritual use are possible secondary functions. After all, objects can be multi-purpose or become status symbols. Our working hypothesis is that this was a compact handheld optical tool, used to estimate distance or size in the field, and carried and displayed as a neat piece of kit. In some cases, it might have been repurposed for lighting or rituals. Not a single function machine, but a clever multi-use gadget. And you can try this at home. Print a small circle and a larger circle on a piece of transparent plastic to mimic two opposite holes. Hold it at arm's length. Now look at an object of a known size, like a 2-meter tall door. When the door just fits inside the larger circle, note your distance from it. Now step back and repeat the process with the smaller circle. You've just made a crude rangefinder, using the exact same geometric principle the Dodecahedron could have exploited. Post your test results in the comments. If enough of you try this, we'll compile a community dataset. The Roman Dodecahedron remains unsolved, but not unknowable. The best explanations come from matching form to function and experiment to evidence. So, which theory wins for you? The rangefinder, the candle, the astronomy tool, or something else we missed? Let us know in the comments below. If you love mysteries with receipts, like this video, subscribe to TimeVault Stories, and share it with a friend who loves ancient tech. Next up, we're tackling either Roman concrete's self-healing secret or the mystery of Greek fire. Vote for your choice in the comments. Thanks for watching.